Gotcha. Gotcha. Um, so so here's the next thing I want to talk about, and this is what blows me away. Two things. Thing number one about Samhain in general. Samhain is, and I've spoken about this with Steve.
Mm.
I'm curious to hear what you think. Samhain is like this insane like thing within the hardcore scene
Oh,
because it's not it's like it's death rock, it's post-punk, it's goth with hardcore, but it's almost like the misfit of hardcore even of itself because you know it's sharing you guys are sharing bills with all these other cookie cutter hardcore bands, some of them at least,
yeah.
and you guys are doing this unbelievably different thing. Is there ever do you ever get annoyed, or has there ever been a time when like a journalist is writing about Sam Hain, they never seem to get it right, like what it was. They always call it more metal or something, and it's like none of those things. Is there ever a time where you think that it's being accurately described?
Um, I never thought it was. People are gonna see what they want to see, which I was just happy that I was like being noticed. And that I mean, at what, 21,
Right.
that's I was like, "Ooh, wow, we're in this, we're in what, Flesh and Bones or something,
Yeah.
like some fanzine." It's like, look, Dad, I'm in this. And he's like, "Yeah, how
Did
much
dad
money did
care?
you make?"
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Um, so how okay, from a musician standpoint and from a musician who's playing this music, what is it like what is Sam Hain doing that makes it more unique in that kind of way? Because in my mind, I could point to the drumming and go, well, the drumming is seems to be less hi-hatty. It's more about like tribal drums, which everybody seems to sort of pick up on. There's, like I said, there's the gothy aspect. You have the chimes and the bell tolls and yada yada yada. But like, what about maybe like the guitar? Like, is there something that I'm missing here, or what is it that makes it different from other hardcore?
Um, it's not blues based.
Oh,
And in fact, um, after I got canned, I had as uh, as the speaking as like a regular guitar player, it that no, thank you. She doesn't understand this. Um,
they never do. Mine
no.
either.
Uh, it was so non blues based, or like regular rock guitar, that it took me about a year to get back where I could actually play with people that weren't doing that.
Wow. So wait, I'm this is blowing my mind. So if I'm understanding you correctly, you're saying that because it's not blues based, you had to sort of like it's like you're rewiring your brain to play guitar in this other way.
Mm-hmm.
You come out of that and you're like, I need to rehabilitate myself of
Right,
like playing like that.
because it was too much. I backed into a corner.
Wow.
Just it's such a pigeonhole. Um,
So there's no room to grow or evolve in that
well,
style.
yeah, that's it's we get to a certain point, and then it turns into Danzig,
Right.
which is like a blues based
Right.
rock and roll band.
Because when you go so far outside of the box, the only place to go is to go
Is
back in the box.
right. It's to it's I guess like Rick Rubin was like, I like what he's doing, but we have to make this palatable to your average chain walleted denim jacketed dent head.
Right.
So
Um, so when you say it's not blues based, which I think you totally as a non-musician, you really explain. That's such a great explanation. If I could turn the dial one step further,
Hmm.
so if it's not blues based, then what is it? What is like?
I would almost, I don't know, but it just didn't have the structure.
Gotcha.
You know, the building of, you know, start in A, go to D, C, G, you know, like that kind of that kind of thing.
Like the hungry end, the guitar on the hungry end,
That is probably one of the the weirder songs.
or like November's Fire.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, I hadn't I hadn't played that in years, and one of the guys that worked for me, Johnny Rosado, was a big Samhain fan when he was a kid. He's also like a I'd say the third generation hardcore New York dude with the Craze, and he has some other bands. But he was like, "How'd you play that?" And I'm just like, "I don't know. I don't remember." we sat around for like half an hour and figured it out. I remember it was a weird, like a reverse D chord, but it took a while to figure it out.